the president, that is William Ruto. And of course, as you know, that is his first State of the Nation address. And this has been met by different reactions by different Kenyans. And that is what we're going to be talking about today. Of course, we cannot also go without failing to mention Julius Malema. But before that, welcome to Ask Siasa right here on Kenya News and Arts TV with me, Tamara Patience. And today I am joined by two gentlemen. Of course, you guys can introduce yourselves.
Yeah. Hello, guys. My name is Timothy Mirera, and thank you. Continue watching us.
Also, my name is Henry Nyamoya.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm joined by two amazing gentlemen. That is Timothy Mirera as well as Mr. Henry Nyamoya. Karibu sana. Remember, on Ask Siasa is all about your opinion in regards to matters, what is happening around us, of course, matters politics, matters governance, state of the nation, and that is what we are discussing right here today. Now, of course, the first question I have to pose to you guys is how did you receive this state of the nation? Whatever Ruto said or whatever the president said, how did you receive it? Were you satisfied as a Kenyan, number one?
Thank you, Tamara, for that question. The expectations, the president did not meet the expectations of Kenyans, who he has promised for a long time to revive the economy. Instead, what the president is doing is opposite of what he is promising Kenyans throughout wherever he was. And it's unfortunate for Kenyans. We elected a president who is more of an activist, who is more of a forest prophet. Araya is as if you graduated rice from the universe, actually. I would say that. Because you cannot keep on promising Kenyans what is not seen even on the ground. You see, every month, Kenyans have been promised a couple of almost 1,000 promises without even one of them starting. So what we are saying, what Kenyans expected is the reduction of taxes, fuel costs, which is high, and actually, even though some people are complaining about basic goods, basic commodities, but you see, there is, to me, the way I reason to it is basic commodities can come down if only we reduce tax,
Yeah.
and at the same time we reduce fuel costs, which is high. If we reduce fuel costs, then automatically basic commodities will come down.
Yeah.
So in fact, today again the president has gone back to Saudi Arabia. You know, what do you think Kenyans are? Actually, we are not expecting anything out of his all these many trips he's going out. It's as if there's something hidden. Kenyan people are not told exactly. There is something hidden. There is something that these people are going out for, not really for the benefit of Kenyans. I've listened to even a council of governors, even Julius Malema from South Africa. Actually, you know, if our president is known outside other countries that is known as Araya, what do you expect from that president? What do you expect from him?
Okay. And just a question I'm posing. First of all, during the State of the Nation address, we saw the president touch on a couple of things. And one of the things that he talked about was the creation of employment, 50,000 jobs for the youth, of course, through the housing.
Housing
yes,
units.
through housing units, yes, that he's doing. So, because you are a youth, for example, and I'm posing this question to you, do you feel like these housing units are something that is sustainable enough, number one, as a source of employment to the Kenyan youth, considering the fact that tunaona some of the things that he mentioned about this particular side of the job include plumbing, architecture work, of course. Some tu kazi ya mjengo generally, what it involves, you know. Is it something that we are seeing solving the long-term issue of unemployment, for example, in Kenya, for the youths in Kenya, considering the fact that tukiangalia the number of houses in Kenya, number one, the number of houses being built, number two, and then number three, now we are coming to employment for you as a youth, probably with a degree or without a degree.
Okay. So first of all, I want to say that Mr. President did his constitutional mandate, in which he was supposed to give a report of what he has done for the last 1 year of being in power. So first of all, he did his duty. But when it comes to what he has done and what he promised us as the youths, in fact, the youths were the people who saw that our president is going to become the savior of the economy. In fact, it is a funny story when we remember the former president, Honorable Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. He said that it is better the dynasty than the hustler Tawale. You remember that? There's that thing that is trending. Hustler Tawale. In fact, us as the youths, we are the person. We are the people that we were singing that hustler anaweza, hustler anafanya kila kitu. So when it comes to the kind of employment in the housing unit, not every youth is an engineer, not every youth is a plumber, electrician, as he stated on his speech. So we have many youths who graduate from different courses from the university. So when you are proud enough to stand and say that was it 50,000?
Yes, 50,000.
50,000, and yet people who graduate from the university are more than every year. They are more than more than that. A million. Yeah. Look at the people who are now doing the KCSE. The students who are doing KCSE. There are so many. You see. And if they continue to the university, every year we are getting a million graduates. Where are they going? Well, you are creating 50,000. So we were promised a lot, but now the delivery is very low.
Yeah.
And we've seen the likes of Raila Amolo Odinga, of course, come out and tell Kenyans, because immediately after the State of the Nation address, as Mr. Henry, you put it, Kenyans were expecting the president to touch on issues like fuel.
Yes.
And when they touch on issues like fuel, it was supposed to be the reduction, because we saw the energy CS previously make a statement, that is during the bipartisan talks, in regards to maybe a foreseeable increase in oil prices up to 300 shillings, you know. And currently Kenyans are complaining of the above 200 shillings that is currently there, asking reduce this, because once you reduce the price of fuel, as you stated, then it means automatically other commodities are going to level up, you know. And we saw Kenyans, of course, should I say KOX, or formerly known as Twitter, ask Baba, mbona tusirudi maandamano?
Why are you silent?
Yes. Baba, why are you silent? You know. And Raila gave a different response, of course, or reacted differently to the sentiments of Kenyans. Unajua, kwa sababu lazima asikie, lazima imfikie aliko, you know. Now, when Baba talks about how Baba reacted, first of all, was it something justifiable, stating that you complained when you went to the streets that tulikuwa tunawaharibia biashara? And number two, again, of course, he has made some recommendations which you're going to come to in regards to now how or what the president should have told Kenyans, you know. But now Baba's reaction, let's just touch on Baba's reaction to now Kenyans complaining about this State of the Nation address and the content he makes.
You know, actually, Zamara, let's be realistic and tell Kenyan state truth. You know, with Papa's reaction, a politician can talk anything. But I listened very carefully what he told the Kenyans, especially or specifically Kikuyus. And actually remember when there was Mandamano, Kikuyus came out, a good number of them protesting against Malema.
The Vice
That
President
it
was
is
saying
spoiling their business within the city.
people
You
from
remember that?
Central.
Yeah.
So that's why, that's what Raila told you, that you came out strongly against Mandamano. I wanted to help you. I wanted to assist you, but you came out strongly. So against Mandamano. So kuleni yani
You eat your fruit.
eat your yeah, your fruit. So what we want to say here, Father, Papa Raila is actually more than what I can't be able to explain to Kenyans. The truth is, Papa will still defend Kenyans. Will continue to remain defending Kenyans at all cost. But the issue here is, what does the president have in mind for Kenyans? Is he really serious solving the problems of Kenyans, or he had an hidden agenda? What do you think these people? What do you think is making these people feast overseas almost? It was about 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Before the king.
Yeah, it was Saudi, and he has gone back to Saudi.
No.
You know, already he has promised the Kenyans 3,500 youths. I think you saw that.
Yeah. Employment.
Okay. Let us go back to the promises the president has been giving Kenyans, especially young youths, hustlers, who he promised to bottom them up. They are languishing. They are the ones actually who are languishing in poverty. They have no choice. You mentioned about housing units. Ila ni mjengo, my dear sister. We have thousands and thousands of graduates
who are out there
with
with
they don't
different
have
courses.
jobs. Who we promised to create jobs for them.
No.
Now the jobs we have, the option, the only option of jobs that we have for them in So what we are saying, to me, I'm seeing the president who is busy, campaigning for 2027. He doesn't have.
And how is he going to get that?
He doesn't have the mind of Kenyans anymore. So he's busy planning for 2027.
Now, speaking of that, of course, during this particular address also, we saw the president talk about the issue of Kenyans living in luxury, because he said that Kenyans were actually living in luxury. And he clearly also once again reminded the country of how they inherited the current economy, of course. Now, before we get naona point iko karibu kutoka, but then again, in the same spirit, he also talked about reducing the Kenyan debt, which of course we know alisema vizuri, it's due next year, but we are reducing it by such a huge amount of money, and we've seen Kenyans complain again on this other side about taxation, about increase in taxation, for example, complain about our debt as a country, for example. Now, first of all, as a Kenyan citizen, were you living in luxury before? And can we at least commend the current regime of at least trying to clear Kenya's debt? Bado hajaklariwa, wamesema by December.
By December.
Yes.
By December.
But isn't it that?
Which December?
Isn't it that?
This
December.
This
next month.
Yes.
Next month.
Yes.
Next month.
Isn't that
He's
a
going to
kudos
clear.
for
Ruto,
the government?
it will be a miracle. For Ruto, it will be a miracle. Let me tell you. The issue of how Ruto inherited the
president.
The president.
The current
from
economy.
the former regime.
Yes.
You see, Ruto was a deputy president. A deputy president is not a vice president. A deputy president is equally as powerful as the president. He has all authority to do anything, to initiate projects, to do whatever he wants. The same Ruto, who was a deputy president by then, is telling Kenyans about the former regime, where he was one of them, of those who were in the former regime. You see, politicians have many languages they can come with.
But do you think that he was thrown out of?
He was not thrown to anywhere actually. That's a language. That's
or it was just a strategy.
You know what you have forgotten. Ruto has been. Ruto is one of the giant politicians we have in this country.
No.
He has been in politics for a long time.
Yeah.
The only government Ruto did not attend is Kenyatta, the founding father of the nation's government.
No.
But Moi, he was a minister.
He was a minister.
Kibaki, he was a minister and very powerful, representing Lived Fare. I don't want to mention what happened during this time, that time. Coming to Uhuru, he was a deputy president. And today is a president. Actually, Ruto cannot escape from the allegations that are forwarded to him by Kenyans. Because he has been all around.
So he knows the in and out of the government.
Maybe let him come clearly and tell Kenyans that actually I've been in the government for a long time, but I didn't learn how the government is run, or how someone can learn the government. Yeah.
And of course, if you followed up with the president State of the Nation address, he touched on very many issues. One of them being, of course, the public debt, which is what we are currently discussing. He also touched on the issue of housing and employment, as well as the education sector. And not mentioning, we cannot go without also mentioning the security. The security of the country as well. We know what has been happening, of course, in Lamu, in Sondu, in Baringo, in different places in Kenya, you know. And we've seen even the interior CS try to probably work and restore security in these different areas. Now, I know when I talk about the interior CS, watu wanafikiria saa hizi ID na passport na kulipa excess when it comes to marriage certificate, you know. But now, before we even come to that, let's go back to the issue of the bipartisan talks, which is something that Ruto quite also addressed. And while we're discussing on the K&A table, of course, one thing we did talk about was Kalonzo Musyoka's facial expression when the president was addressing him as my brother, congratulating them of the work that they're doing so far for the bipartisan talks. For the bipartisan talks. You know, him together and Ishungwa, you know. So looking at the bipartisan talks, for example, the president including it in his State of the Nation address, applauding the talks that are currently happening, number one. What is your reaction to it, considering the fact that, of course, we've had different sentiments, ikiwa zile watu wanasema, for example, this was just a way to stop or to put a hold to maandamano so that a couple of things happen huku nje. Now, for example, even for you guys, are you seeing the fruits coming out pretty soon, considering the fact that the report is supposed to be presented next week or next week, but one, currently in November, you know, and the cost of living has actually been
still the main. It has been the main.
It actually has been the last agenda to be discussed in the bipartisan talks. So let's start with President Ruto acknowledging, of course, the good work Ishungwa and Kalonzo are doing.
So I think, as from my side, I can say that our president is a very sweet, talkative gentleman. Huyu ni mtu ambaye anakuongelesha vizuri. So he's a very good politician, and he knows where to attack. He knows where to talk about, because he knows he has been there, as you have said, he has been in politics for a long time, so he knows. So that is one way of sweet talking. the opposition. Let me say the opposition, because Kalonzo Musyoka is in the opposition part. So he's like trying to tell them that you are my good brothers. I'm
Brother them actually. He's flattering opposition.
Yeah, he's flattering them. And he's just like telling people that we are together. So you people, like us as citizens, hakuna watu wa kututetea, hawa wako nini ni pamoja bado. Yeah. So I don't think like that was in a good, okay, that is just like a strategy of our president. Yeah.
On top of what my brother said, actually, when the National Dialogue Committee Thomas was started, when it is started, Ruto took it as a joke. Even many MPs within UTA, even up to now, if you listen to statements coming out, water comes out of the mouth of Ndidi Nyoro. It doesn't support the national dialogue.
Yeah.
And actually, there is something here. The site of Central, it seems that they are not clear with the national dialogue in Bomas.
They're not
because
clear.
even the deputy president is against.
Exactly.
But here is another. How do we call it? Mudavadi is for the national dialogue.
Yeah.
At Bomas.
No.
Are you seeing this? So there is something going chini ya maji. You know, let me tell you why I told you that Ruto is a very keen politician.
Very keen.
He was not elected to Kenyans. He knows to help Kenyans to revive the economy or to do whatever we are hoping him to do for us. No. Ruto is an investor. He cannot make a good manager. What Kenyans wanted, Tamara, is a good manager who can manage the economy of this country. A good manager who can balance the debts and the problems, the debts and what people are facing down in the ground. You know, Ruto thinks that by increasing tax is when he will reduce debts. No. You know, ask yourself, what did Kibaki do? Kibaki also did not get money. And remember, even Ruto was in this government. He was one of them. What Kibaki did, he realized that 65% of Kenyans are languishing under abject poverty. So what he did, he reduced tax so that to be mandatory for each and every Kenyan. Are you seeing this? He reduced the tax. You know, let me tell you, try to explain in another way around. In fact, Tamara, I'm not an economist. But if you tax one person 10,000, you keep on you end up taxing 1,000 people, 1 million out of 52 million Kenyans. What do you gain? What do you benefit? That's what Kibaki realized, that I must go down to the people.
To the people, yeah.
Of course, he told the people the importance of paying tax. At the same time, he reduced tax to people and enabled them to pay tax. In so doing, the economy grew. What Ruto is doing, let me tell you why we are suffering today in Kenya. Ruto is a business magnate man.
Yeah.
Do you know what he's doing for Kenyans? What is remaining for Kenyans is only to purchase Kenya outside. Why am I saying so? You know, when you increase tax, to the people who are paying tax, you value the American dollar goes up.
Yeah. Like it has gone.
The country that is milking Kenyans, poor Kenyans, is America. Kenya is now under the puppet of America. Kenya is today working through the remote of America. You will never see December. You said December. Which December? Tomorrow.
It is coming next month.
But you know, Mr. Henry, every single time, for example, we have seen the president out, you know, we have seen an impact in Kenya. You know,
Impact on?
funds, for example, in the country. You know,
Yeah,
you cannot claim unless you go to a record.
Yeah.
Yes, most definitely you'll find out that Kenya has benefited from this international trips that the country is actually
the president.
The president is taking. You see, now number one, for example, if I can ask you, so are you trying to say that President Ruto has so far done nothing?
No.
In the country?
No. But I also want you to tell me one country. Out of 41 trips, today he has reached 41.
It is
Saudi
Arabia.
Give me an example of 3 countries we have benefited from, and you tell me what we have benefited. Let me tell you. Let me tell you, my sister. And this is a reality.
Okay.
I said I'm not an economist, but try to weigh it this way. Weigh it this way. You know, Ruto came out openly, acting, behaving as if is against America. As if is against the door of America. Wooing African leaders to have one currency for Africa. And it was what? Almost all African countries, almost all African leaders they supported him.
They supported them.
Were almost supporting him. And they talked this openly into an international conference. Where kumbe it was a trick.
That's why Malema is speaking about it.
It was a scam. You know, Ruto is a tyrant, my sister. That's what Kenyans have never known. That man is tricky. He's a professional liar. He cannot revive this economy. You know, wait, give me just a fraction of a minute. He cannot revive this economy in the sense that the intentions of the president are quite different and heightened apart from what is reflected from him. You know, Ruto is like a chameleon. He can talk this today, on Monday next week, he behaves as if he's not the one who addressed the meeting in Mombasa. Let me tell you, he has given, have you ever asked yourself why he has been giving all these promises, almost 1,000 every month? Why can't we start? Yeah? We start out of, okay, there are more than 50,000, but let us start with 10 only. We start from where we started from and start completing all. Let him start with 10 only out of 1,000 for Kenyans to see that he is serious. Let me tell you, my brother, my sister, brother, and sister. Ruto is not a stranger. We never borrowed this president from Uganda or Canada or from elsewhere. He's our son who has been a leader in this country. He knows what is supposed to be done to his own country, to his own motherland. He knows the problems Kenyans are facing. He knows where we went wrong. He could have not been telling Kenyans about former regime. What we wanted to hear from him every day is what he used to promise Kenyans during his campaign. And this is what was in his manifesto. Why have they served that manifesto? They used to tell Kenyans about what they are going to do.
In fact, I attended in the launching of his manifesto. I was in the NDC when he was launching the UDA party. And as you have said, Mr. Nimaya, that Ruto is a very, let me say, is a very cunning person, because we we were very persuaded with what he promised us as the hustlers through the manifesto. In fact, I have it in my house, and in fact we can analyze it and see what he has done and what he has not done. In fact, there is a clip that is trending from people from his own constituency. They are saying that they are quoting what Ruto said. He said that nikiekelea Biblia chini, wafisadi wote
watahama Kenya
na mahasla wote. Unaona? Hustlers ni akina nani? They are people, ni hawa watu wenye they depend on hand to mouth every day. Unanipata? So unapata saizi kuna ule mama mboga. Saizi unapata anataxiwa a lot. Unapata hata means of transport imechange. Kama alikuwa anaendea mboga pale Gikomba, ama anaendea nini, transport imechange. It was 50 shillings. Saizi hata mtu wa gari mwenyewe hawezi lipisha that 50 shillings. Unapata inakuwa 200 shillings to 150 shillings. So you get that these people, and yet lifestyle ija change. Hizi tomato ukiziweka pesa mingi, watu wataanza, kama walikuwa wanakula nyanya 4 wataanza kula nyanya 1. Nana anaenda loss. It is the mama mboga mwenye alikuwa the president promised us that mama mboga, like her lifestyle ama na their lifestyle will change. Watu wa boda boda now they are being forced by the kanjos, wanafukuzwa hapa na pale. If they can tell you their grievances, how they are facing out here, you just wonder.
Serious.
It is a very serious thing. Haya, akatu promise pia that hawa watu wenye hawana kazi watapata kazi. Saizi angalia, saizi hata usiku ikifika, kuna mtu alikuwa anasema
wezi wameongezeka.
Wezi wameongezeka. Why? Because of the economy. Unapata kijana ako njaa, hajafanya kazi mwezi wa kwanza wa pili, na maybe alikuwa anasupportiwa mahali. Sasa hii mwezi wa 3 hana mtu wa kumsaidia. Now anakuwa mwizi, insecurity inaingia. Unapata now watu wana grab the resources zenye zinapatikana so that they can satisfy themselves. Now unapata now the president himself, I was a big supporter of UDA. Kazi ni kazi. Kazi ni kazi, imekuwa kazi si kazi kwa sababu hakuna kazi.
That's very true actually.
So now and now I get now to understand now, because now our former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga is now watching, is now a viewer to what is happening.
He has thrown the ball to Kenyans now to see what he used to tell them.
Yeah. In fact, I'm one of the person who is seeing, because I was a true supporter of you.
But
okay. To my sister, you know, you see, if Ruto is serious reviving the economy, or seriously, he wants to help hustlers, young people who are down there. Let me ask you, who are the people ambao wako na namba kubwa ya kuoa? They are the youth. Now, you see what he has done. He has doubled marriage certificate. Who are the people who will run at a great risk of loss? Are they not the youths?
The youths.
Okay. Everything is rising. Apart from tax, we are taxed from every corner.
It is double.
It is double.
It is very double.
Passport for 4,566 something like that. It has now gone up to 7,500.
Yeah.
Marriage certificate from 30,000 to 100,000. Another this one of 5,000 to 50,000. Okay. ID. Unajua ni watu gani wanachukua ID?
The leavers of Form 4.
And because of hustling, mtu anaweza poteza ID. Imagine kijana hana kazi, amepoteza ID. When he goes back to renew his or her ID, renew na 2,000.
And he's a citizen. He or she is a citizen of Kenya.
You see, Museveni announced yesterday, but that if Kenyans are suffering, those ones who are within the boundary of Uganda, I will sell fuel in cheap prices. and you see, there was a message through social media today that all African countries have programmed to reduce fuel costs, except Kenya. I don't know whether you saw
Tanzania
that.
reduced.
Tanzania have reduced. So, you know, we are using scapegoats. Even tomorrow, if Uganda and Libya fights, that will be a major and very good scapegoat for us kwa mambo na fuel. You see, when Ruto was campaigning for president, it was against wakati government wengine hao walikuwa wanasema kwamba Ukraine na nini na mambo mengine. You see, today, that's the talk of the day from UDA or within UDA. You see, so what we are saying, we are not against the president. Remember the matter, we have only one head of state. This is not a campaign. Campaign is over. We elected a president. Whether we elected him or not, but he's the president. He's the president.
He's the face of Kenya.
We can't stop talking about him because every eye of a Kenyan is facing to him. Are you seeing this? So there is no way you can purport. You can increase the tax. Remember, tax now is 18, not 16. It's 18. You are not aware. And you purport at the same time, you purport reducing the economy. How possible is that? What is benefiting is American dollar.
So I can really say as Tamara you will speak. I can say that Kenyans. I think this government is of individuals because if they are focusing more on taxing people, hiking the prices of basic commodities, fuel, food, and everything. So I think like the issue of the IDs. Who are going to take the IDs? The Form 4s. How many Form 4s are there? 900,000.
Almost a million.
A million. So if you do 1 million times 1,000, how much do you get? And that money, where is it going? That is the big question that Kenyans should ask. Where is your money going? Because the infrastructures in Kenya, we are not seeing any additional from the previous government that they have been there. We are not seeing any kind of development. But where is our money going?
And I think that is how we're going to end it right here on Ask Siasa. Of course, a lot of questions have been asked, but remember, on Ask Siasa, it's all about your opinion on matters politics, matters governance, and as well the state of the nation. Right here, we were talking about the state of the nation address, what Kenyans were expecting versus what they've gotten, how they feel about the current government. Most definitely, of course, we have those who feel that the government has failed, the others who feel like the government has performed, the others who are saying we should give the government time to actually perform. It's still too early in the game. But most definitely, we are looking forward to even hearing your opinion as well in the comment section. What is or what are your thoughts in regards to, of course, the state of Kenya as per what the president announced vis-a-vis what you as a Kenyan are experiencing? Please feel free to tell us that on the comment section below. And of course, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us on Ask Siasa. So from us here on Ask Siasa, we're saying, depending on whatever time that you're watching us, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And remember to watch our Ask Siasa. It's all about your opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so just one day post the State of the Nation address by the president, that is William Ruto. And of course, as you know, that is his